You know what happened on Purim? There was a tremendous that came down from Shemayim, and it turned over everything that was supposed to be. There was a Seder HaTevi, a natural Tiviistic Seder, that was supposed to happen. And Purim came, and even though it was already signed and sealed with the Bas HaMelech, a tremendous Gzeira, it was batul and not stam batul. Something happened here even more than bittul. Nahapachu asher yishultu haYehudim heimim b'seineim. Which the Arizal says, this is such a revelation, we never had such a thing. In all the other times that we were in trouble and we were going to be killed and annihilated, in all the other times, we were saved. We were never saved in such a way that not only were we saved, but we were yishlu to haYehudim heimim b'seineim. This is something that's a koyach in these days of Purim that we never had any other time. Not just to be saved, but to be empowered. That's a tremendous revelation. And these are the days of Purim. But the Iker Chiddush says in the Siv Shalom of the revelation of Purim is that it did not only light up the days of Purim thousands of years ago, but that Hashem gave us a matana that it's going to be every single year. A glimmer of that light. Ikar HaChiddush B'Gilui Hazeh Hu Shemeir Mechadash B'Mei Purim B'Chol Shana V'Shana. Da'av shebe'etzem ho yeshayach rak l'osei tkufa. Really, the miracle was only for then. V'al pi ma shemevar sham l'nitin l'havim b'seichel anushi eich shayach hagilui hazeh b'chol shana v'shana. And really, according to what we understand, what does it have to do with every year? It's something that happened then. Aval HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'roiv rachamov v'chasadov. The Eibishter with tremendous rachamim and chesed b'ritzoynoi lehetiv l'bnei Yisrael. The Eibishter wants to be good to us. He wants to be meitiv to us. So nosan matana l'klal Yisrael. He gave us a matana, freebie. Shahagilui hazeh yo'ir l'doros. That this revelation will be lit up for all of the generations. Shemei hapurim le'yavrim mitoich haYehudim. Uv'chol shana v'shana, and every single year, yeshes koyach shel Purim. We have the koyach to tap into of Purim. Shehu yom echad b'shana. It's one day of the year, Shemeir boy Gilui Kazeh, that is lit up, it's enlightened with this revelation, She'ef Shelevatel Afilu Es Asher Kvar Nechtav V'Nechtam B'Tabas HaMelech. That we have a power on this day to be Mevatel Gzeris that are even signed and sealed by Hashem. So let's understand. Hashem said, I love you so much on this day of Purim. I'm willing to give you so much. And I'm also willing that on every anniversary of this thing that happened, I'm going to give you that koyach as well. That you can tap into the same thing. It's a special gift that we have a revelation on every single Purim that we can tap into salvation for even Gzeris that Hashem himself signed and sealed. It's already a done deal. And that even B'tachin cannot break, Purim can break. The Sabbath Kadisha from Slonim says, he explains the stira because it says Rosh Hashanah is Yom Adin. The Gemara Rosh Hashanah says, Command Matzlinan Aktsir Umari Kirib Yosi the Amra Nani the Mechal Yoim. Who do we pass in? We say, like Rabbi Yosi, that we are judged every single day. Mechadish. And now we could understand what the Bad Ditcheva said. The Heilige Kedishas Levi says, we know that the Gemar Din, the Din is on Rosh Hashanah, the Gemar Din, it says on Yom Kippur, and it's Hoshana Rabbah, and we know some Sfarim say that it's till Zois Chanukah, but the Barditcheva says sometimes there's a Gzar Din that Hashem wants to be so good to you, and He knows that you're not going to make it, so He lets you push off the Gemar Din and Shemayim until Purim. V'hainu sheKadosh Baruch Hu nosan liYisrael as Yom HaPurim, sheboi nitem l'shanes es kol inyani hadin shel Yom Neiraim, v'afilu ma shekvar b'chinas nechtam b'tabas HaMelech adayin yesh derech l'shanosam b'Purim. Sometimes the Yid can't win. And Hashem says, you know what? I'm going to let the end of the din be, the Gemara din on Purim, because on Purim, there's a way to be mevatel the din, even if I signed and sealed it. Even if this guy lost the judgment in Shemayim, Hashem sometimes lets us on Purim be mevatel the gzar din of Rosh Hashanah. Unbelievable. So this is Pshat. The days of Purim are happening in every generation. We all have the ability on the day of Purim to tap in to the Gzeris that Nebuch Hashem signed and sealed on us by Rosh Hashanah, by Yom Kippur, whenever the Gemara Din was. And it was signed and sealed with Hashem's signature. And even the Koach HaBitachon, which we learned can break through Gzeris, also can't work, can't stop. Comes the day of Purim, and we could tap into that. You still think it's like Halloween? I don't think so. Now we can understand, why do we have these mitzvahs hayom? Mitzvahs hayom, matanas lavyonim shleich manas ish l'reyehu, laharbois es ha'ahava b'hayididus ben Yehudim, to enhance, increase love and friendship between Jews. Sheis achtu be'ahava b'leiv echad. We should get together with love, with one heart, ki ish echad, like one person, ki bechinas, like it says in the Megillah, lech knois as kol haYehudim, kol haYehudim, sha'ayis b'yom hahem shemshichas gili hagadol shel Purim. Now we understand the kesher. Why am I giving gifts? You know why? Because the real salvation that allowed us not to be annihilated came from the ability to connect with kol haYehudim. Therefore, if you want to commemorate that, you want to bring out that feeling, of course, now it makes sense that the Chachamim said, go give gifts. Go to your neighbors. You know, you go to a neighbor that you never speak to a whole year, and you give him a gift. It creates love. Then you invite him over for a Friday night meal. Doesn't end there. I went to a neighbor, they're not so religious, and they're close to me, and I'm embarrassed to say that. I don't really talk to them. I don't really know them. And I went, I rang their doorbell to bring Shlach Manas, and the little girl came out with $1. She thought I was a schnar collecting tzedakah. I'm like, no, tell your parents I'm your neighbor. Because the rest of the year, I don't know, I wasn't good. And Purim says, no, go ring that door. They're Jewish. Go be nice to them. And then they'll give you back a Shlach Manas, right? And then you invite them over Friday night. Fall in love with Jews. Kol haYehudim. Don't limit that. By Kabbalah Satayr also, because we were also holy. And now we need Ki Ish Echad B'Leiv Echad, and we don't have it because we think we're holier than other Jews. We needed Misoich Tumasam. None of us are on the level that we were. We're different shades of holiness. But the only way that we can have this, tap into our own salvation, is we need everybody. Because as long as we're missing, you know, every ois of a Sefer Torah, Shishim Ribu Ois of Torah, every Yid is an ois. And if you're missing an ois of Sefer Torah, it's possible. And if Achdus is what's going to help break Gzeris that are Nechtam B'Tabas HaMelech on us, then we have to really rethink this and say, which people in Klal Yisrael are we not wanting to knois with? Who are we rejecting? And we have to realize it's our own Gzeris on our own lives, physical, emotional, spiritual Gzeris on us, that we are not able to nullify because I think I'm frummer than him and I'm insulted from him. It's all pettiness. That's the Nisayon. Go out to the parks, go out to the lakes, go out to the 7-Elevens, and find over there Jewish kids and Jewish people who are not affiliated, who feel rejected. Go to the other people in your family, to the ones who went to the other Rebbe, or the ones that are like this or like that. And that's why Chazal said, give gifts. Gift bomb. Don't say, do they deserve it? Does he not deserve it? Because how far did deserving get us? It got us to Charbon Beis HaMikdash. It got us to Sinas Chinam. I don't deserve him, and he doesn't deserve her, and she doesn't deserve mine, and he doesn't deserve mine, and I'm not going to... It's all very nice. So what do you end up with? You're on your own. and you have Gzeirus on your head, and you don't have the koyach to be mevatel it. And there are Gzeirus on Klal Yisrael as a whole, and we don't have a koyach to be mevatel it. Right? We have it in every generation, b'chol day v'dar. What's in this generation? All the big askanim, everybody's getting together, everybody's scared about the Gzeira. Sometimes it's Gzeira on bris, sometimes it's Gzeira on shchita, sometimes it's Gzeira on education. There's only one thing we can do if it's really a Gzeira, even if it's already signed and sealed. Alachas kama v'kama, if it's not signed and sealed by Hashem, of course this is super powerful. But even if Hashem would sign off on it, imagine, Hashem reveals to us, I signed off on it, no more Jewish education. No more private schools. You flood it with social studies and things, and you could learn a little Judaism at night on your own. It would be a terrible Gzeira. You want to overcome it? You want to overturn it? How? Of course we're going to send people down to Washington, Ishtadlus. Of course we're going to try to speak to our Ishtadlus. But what's going to overturn the Gzeira? And what if it's Nechtav and Nechtam b'tabas HaMelech? One thing. Leich Knoises Kol HaYehudim. Open your arms and open your hearts and go bring in all those Jews that we pushed away, that we rejected, that we looked down, we said Shiksa Gaita, Shaigitz Aros, and realize these are Jewish neshamas splintered away, pushed away from us. Go and gather them. We need them. Shisachtu b'ahava b'leiv echad kish echad b'leiv echad b'bechinas lichnoises kol haYehudim shahais b'yam mohem shemshicha es hagilui hagadol shel Purim. They were able to bring down the revelation, the light, the salvation of Purim through lichnoises kol haYehudim, even the one who was nana mesudasa shel Achashverosh, even him, because he's a Yid, we need him in order to get out of this mess. Now we can understand the tremendous simcha, and he's going to go back to what we said in the first Maimer. You will know this from the first speech. Tyrus Ava says, this is so powerful. Just take a minute. If a Yid is sameach umerutza b'anhagas habayre imoy, if a Yid is happy and satisfied with the way that Hashem is dealing with his life, he doesn't have tinnitus, he doesn't have depression. He says, I'm happy with what you give me. I'm satisfied with you, with the way that you're dealing with my life. V'gam k'shekayav loy ma'oid, and even when he's in tremendous pain, yoidea, he knows she'im HaKadosh Baruch Hu misnayig imaykach, that if God is dealing with me this way, harei zeh tov, it's good. V'sameach b'hanagasa yizbarach, and he's happy with Hashem's hanhaga, the way Hashem is guiding his life. Then, azay mida keneged mida, gam HaKadosh Baruch Hu makabel oisay eich shehu misnayig umoichalai. Mida keneged mida. Hashem is makabel him, the way that he acted, and he gives him mechila. He didn't even do tshuva. But if you can accept b'simcha and you're merutza with the way the Eibishter deals with you, then Hashem says, fine. I accept the way that you deal, and I'm meichel you. This is a tikkun agadol b'yoser. This can fix problems that regular tshuva doesn't even help. There are some averis that it's really super hard to do tshuva from. But this is a backdoor to tshuva. Let's say a person does 5 averis, and you go through the Rambam, and you go through how to be mesaken 5 averis. It's painful, maybe sigufim, maybe fast, maybe gilgul sheleg, all different types of things. Very hard to remove a chet from you. What about 1,000? What about 5,000 averis? So there's a back door here. By accepting b'simcha, and you're satisfied with the way that God runs your life, and even when it's super painful, you say, you know what, if this is what Hashem is doing to me, it's good, I accept it. Then Hashem says, you accept me, I accept you. And therefore, you get complete mechila, kaparas avonos, for all the averis, and this is the back door for even tshuva of things that are very hard to get tshuva for, to accept the way that Hashem is managing your life with happiness, rejoicing with it, simcha and ratzon, satisfaction. Umikan in simcha. Now we understand that this is the inyan of simchas, that we have to go on Purim, chayiv inish, we are mechuyev, to get drunk bipuraya on this day of Purim, shehi ketrufas pella hamamtekas kol adinim, because this is a wonder drug that sweetens all the dinim. Because by getting drunk, I can get released from my depression and my pain, and I can get myself out of my misery, and therefore, so before the speech, and therefore I throw up on the guy next to me, and therefore I have a good time. No, you missed the avodah. By getting so high and drunk, you can release yourself from your pain of your tightness on Hashem, and you can work on yourself to accept that whatever Hashem does for me is good. We should sing and dance these words, Im HaKadosh Baruch Hu misnaig imoy kach harei toiv v'sameach v'anhogas haboirei. That's the avodah of Purim. We should get up on a table drunk and we should say, I am happy, I am satisfied with the way that Hashem chose to run my life. To say a story of the Chavetz Chaim when he was 8 years old, the Rebbe asked everyone in the class, what would you do if you were God? One by one, each kid said, if I was Hashem, my neighbor, his mommy is very, very sick. I would give her a refuah shalema. The Rebbe says, beautiful. The next one says, what would I do if I was God? I know somebody, they have no food on their table. They mamish eat stale bread. If I was Hashem, I would give them money. Beautiful. One by one, every kid said what he would do if he was Hashem. Little Yisrael Meir, 8 years old, was very quiet. Finally, everyone else went. The Rebbe says, Yisrael Meir, what would you do if you were Hashem? And he said, nothing. If anything could be better, it would be better. Nothing. We think that we could improve on Hashem. We think if we had the koyach of Hashem, we could do better than Him. He doesn't know what to do. We would give poor people money. We would give the sick people health. If I was God, the world would be a better place. You really think so? So we have to understand that we don't understand. But whatever is happening in our lives, and even when it's very painful, we know, we accept, besimcha v'ratzain, that this is toiv. And you can't do it without a shtickle l'chaim because it's too hard to really do it. You could try saying the words, but to internalize it, it's very hard. Im Yehudi sameach u'merutze b'anhagas haboirei imoy. When a Yid is happy and satisfied with the way that Hashem runs his life, v'gam k'shekoyev le'ma'oid yodeah, and even when he is in a lot of pain, he knows Shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu mistayig imoy kach, that if Hashem is guiding his life this way, harei zeh toiv, it's good, v'sameach b'anhagasa yisbarach, and he's happy with the way that Hashem is dealing with him. Then midah keneged midah, Hashem accepts him, the way that he deals, the way that he treats Hashem, and he forgives him for all of his sins. And therefore, this is an inyan of simcha that we have on Purim. Nimtza ki Purim hu hayoim hayochid bashana. It comes out that Purim is the one day of the year, that on this day, we can change all the gzeiros. Afilu masher bebechinas nechtam b'tabas hamelach. This is the day that we can change everything. Even gzeiros that are sealed with the ring of Hashem. Uvezeh miyuchad Purim mikol ha'mayadim. Shabbosos v'yom tovim she'ein b'hem gilu zeh. This is different than all of the other days that we have, Shabbos, Yom Tovim, that we don't have this revelation. Ukedichsiv, Vayomer HaMelech le'Esther, b'mishta hayayin ma'ashay losech, b'yinosin lach, u'ma ba'koshosech v'seyos. HaMelech hu ma'alkei shaloylam. The Eibishter himself, Omer le'Yehudi, he says to every single Yid, Hahoylech HaShechim, who's going in the darkness, v'shari ba'astarim, And he is behester panim. Esther is blush and hester panim. And Hashem tells us, Ma she'iloseh sheifele, what do you need? B'yinoseh lach, I'm going to give it to you. Uma b'kosha seich, what are your needs? Say us and I'll do it. B'mishte hayayin hinchi yachal lifoil, kol mishalei secho b'kosha secho. By the mishte yayin, when we have our suda, we can play leis yeshuas. V'lachen gam im kol ha'mayadim yeh b'telim, imei apurim lo yivatlu, ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu Pesach miyuchad sha'or hagadol hazeh ya'ir b'chol shana b'shana b'yem apurim la'adei ad. And therefore, it's always going to be there for us, no matter what. No matter what's going to happen, no matter where we are, no matter where we find ourselves, Hester b'soich Hester, we're always able to have this day that the Melech Malchus Shel Olam says to us by the Mishteh Hayayin, Sheifele, what can I do for you? It's Achas Bashana. Doesn't happen any other time. And we have to learn how to take advantage of this to the greatest degree.